So we're approaching a day that's really important and near and dear to my heart, Random Acts of Kindness Day. We moved into our neighborhood 13 years ago and befriended a neighbor who lives in an assisted living facility that's subsidized by the local municipality. And his name is Joe Langone, a gentleman who's every bit, who wrote the book on being a gentleman. Absolute kind-hearted person, a man of faith, a man of kindness, of giving. He just wants to give of himself. He's not a very wealthy man, and he does not have any family. He was a man of the cloth years ago, and his rent's not very high, but it's very close to areas of importance to him for his daily needs. A Publix grocery store, his banking facilities, and other stores that he can get what he needs just to survive. Joe also suffers from COPD, which is a lung disease. He suffers from Parkinson's disease, and he's got a little bit of dementia that's early on, but nothing that's beyond what normal people of his age have. He's a 79-year-old man. And during COVID, in the height of COVID, when things were really bad and people who were could be exposed to this virus with lung disease were really, really scared of it because we knew that it affects them the most. He was living in this facility and his neighbor approached him that her grandson is shopping for the elderly, going to the grocery store and getting them their needs so that they don't have to be exposed to COVID. And so the kind person that he is, and he lives on only Social Security, which is not a lot, the kind of person that Joe is, he said, sure, here's my ATM card, here's my grocery list, go get me my groceries and I'll pay you $10 for doing so. He couldn't afford the $10 to do that, but he did that. Why? Because he's a man who believes in people and believes in being kind. Well, this kid took him for everything he had. His entire life savings of nearly $8,000 were gone overnight. Did Joe complain when I saw him? Never said a word about it. Until one day that I saw Joe was kind of depressed, and he usually is very jovial and happy. And I said, Joe, what's bothering you? Tell me what's going on. I was walking my dog, who he always says hi to. Joe, what's going on? Joe finally blurted out what happened, and that he's falling behind in his rent, and that his check comes in from Social Security on the third Friday of every month, and that he just didn't have enough money to make ends meet and to pay the rent, and he's falling behind. So we stepped up and we were able to pay his rent for that month. As time went by, things were getting worse and worse. The money that he had saved was subsidizing his rent, and he got further and further behind. And being the proud person that he was, he didn't want to approach us and didn't want to impose upon anybody. And lo and behold, one thing led to another, and he was evicted from his apartment. Now, being that he doesn't have anybody, he only has basically the clothes on his back and maybe a little bit of furniture in his place, and that's about it. He had nowhere to go, and he would have become homeless. And with his Parkinson's and his COPD, in the middle of winter, in Florida, which is not harsh, but we were in January, this started to really take a toll on him. So we figured out a way to keep him in place, but he's still needs to build up his savings that he has. So we're setting up a GoFundMe page for Joe to raise money for him so that he can just live out his life in the subsidized housing facility. I went to go visit him just to see what he needs. And I asked to see his bank statement to see if I can help him budget his bills a little bit. He's afraid to open his bank statement, and when I opened it this past Saturday, he had $5 to his name. That's it. A man who worked his entire life and did not take from society and gave from his heart was down to $5. It broke my heart to see that. So we're trying to raise funds to help him to paint his apartment, to clean it up, since the Housing Authority is not going to do that for him, so he can live his life out in dignity and continue to be the kind person that he is, who goes to church every week, prays for other people, does what he can with his limited abilities to help others, and it's time that he gets help as well. There are thousands and thousands of stories out there of people that are very just like that, but this one hits home. He's a neighbor, he's close to us, and we really, really want to show him the love. So if you see it in your heart to contribute, and even if it's just $1, to contribute something to help him out, and if this goes out to enough people that will help him, we'd love to give you an update as to how he's progressing and how he is. We're going to post a picture of Joe online as well with his GoFundMe page. He's a wonderful human being. He's a caring human being, and he deserves better than he got. And shame on people who take advantage of the elderly that way, but unfortunately in life that happens. So we're put on this earth, I truly believe, to help others, and I've been very blessed in my life, as are my family and my work family as well, and we just want to give a little bit back. We're going to go grocery shopping for him, we're going to get him some clothes, we're going to give him a new beginning so that he can live his life out. He's not asking for much, he's actually not asking at all. This is going to be a surprise to him if we're able to raise some money to help him sleep at night and not have to worry about where his next rent payment's going to come from. And we just want to help him out, and anything you can do to assist would be greatly, greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. And I know Joe will be overwhelmed by the outpour of love for him. We really, really appreciate everything that you can do for him, and it's part of our initiative of just one little small random act of kindness on Random Act of Kindness Day. Thank you.